Hello everybody and welcome.
This is Back to Back, episode 3.
With me, Liam Browne.
And with me, Jenny Berry.
This is a new show
where some of Midnight's favourite guests
get the chance to chew the fat.
And ask each other questions.
Jenny Berry.
Liam.
How are you doing?
I'm alright. How are you?
Fantastic.
I'm loving your hat.
Thank you, I'm loving your hat.
Thanks, it covers
Definitely defeats my hat.
It covers up greasy hair.
Does it?
Yeah, it's good. You can borrow it if you want.
Have you been cooking chips or something?
Yeah, I do a lot. Do you know to save money?
Yeah, well, you need to get an air fryer. An air fryer, sort of clears up all that business.
Right, I'll try that.
And you have less fires, which is good.
Oh, that's handy, isn't it?
Especially for blokes who come home from, the pub. Well, not that you can come home from the pub at the moment, but come home from the pub, put the chip pan on, go in the living room, fall asleep watching the telly, and then the back of the house is on fire. And then they end up getting divorced. Well, that's just my uncle.
Touch wood. That's not happened to me yet.
It's not.
But anything could happen in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I set the microwave on fire once.
Brilliant.
The night before I went travelling.
We shouldn't have microwaves, so it's a good thing.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be microwaving stuff.
So I'll go vegan, get rid of my microwave.
Yeah. No, don't get rid of it. Put it in the... in a book I read, you actually put it in your garage because it'll come in handy one day.
Okay.
But not for making food.
Good
It's
tip.
got some technology in it that will be needed.
I'll take that away with me.
Maybe we can adjust it in teleport or something. That'd be good.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, I've not got that technology. I've not got that know-how. But we just store the microwaves.
Could you not use some kind of spiritual, transactional, vibrational force to do it?
I'll get there. Give me 10 years.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yes.
Jenny Berry.
Yeah.
Jenny Berry.
It's a real name. It's not a dessert.
When first time you emailed me, I was like, what a great name.
Oh,
just
thanks.
Jenny Berry, and I've been singing it all the way here, if I'm honest with you. Just like Jenny Berry. You know that Penny Crayon?
Penny Crayon? Yes.
The Penny Crayon, tune to it. I've been singing that all the way here.
Do you remember that? It was like she literally drew her dreams and made them come true.
Yeah, we can do that anyway.
We can.
It's all possible. People forget it as they get older. People forget their dreams. So.
I know they do.
Anyway, full-time poet. Was that your dream or what?
Kind of developed into it. So yeah, I'm living my dream in that way at the moment.
Yeah.
What about you, anyway? Your song lyric of milkshaking in the bar. I love those lyrics.
Juice Girl.
Juice Girl.
Juice Girl. It's a track, that.
Where did it come from? It's mint. That was really good.
It's exactly what it says on a tin. It was just a tune about a girl that I fancied who worked in a juice bar. And basically everything that's in the song just happened. I just wrote it down. Did
it come true, though, like?
Oh, we had a little fiddle.
Was that in the juice bar?
No.
Come on.
I met her at the cacao ceremony.
Right, okay.
With 27 other people.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's like you sang and used your words and they came to life. Kind of.
No, it just happened and I sang up and I wrote it all down.
All right.
Remembered it.
Totally took me there from took me down to real life there.
I didn't manifest it. Well, I kind of manifested it because I was thinking about it, but yeah. So how long have you been a full-time poet for then?
A full-time one.
Would you say you are a full-time poet?
At the moment, yeah. I can say that, which is brilliant. Well, I've been a poet since being a child, probably like yourself. I think it's just in you, isn't it? But lockdown has helped my career.
Yeah.
Don't know if you're allowed to say it really has because
What do you mean you're not allowed to say that? Why can you not say that? Fuck everyone else. Who cares? We thrived. Amazing.
Yeah. No,
the people who are supposed to thrive will thrive in any situation. Don't put yourself down for that bullshit. Because you feel sorry for other people that are struggling.
That's good. That's
They've put themselves in that situation.
Yeah.
We're all manifesting our own reality. Like Viking, I would show you my tattoo, but I need it finishing, so I won't show it. It is finishing. It's a Viking symbol, two arrows, and it means create your own reality.
Oh.
If you're creating a reality that is dependent on so many other factors and you're working for somebody else, we should all be working for ourselves. We should all be self-employed.
True.
We should all be empowered. We should all be sovereign beings. So you're smashing it.
Thank you. Well, I know I've had all kinds of work, like what I've only dreamt of coming through in the past 6 months, so...
Penny Crayon.
Buzzing. Yeah. People say, is that your stage name? What's your real name? Like,
yeah.
God, Jenny Berry, leave me alone. That's my name.
Hello. It's top name. Oh. Has everybody always loved your name?
In school, people laughed at it when the register come out. They were like, Jenny Berry, it rhymes. I was like, that's kind of the road I want to go down, so that'll do.
Yeah.
But yeah, just embrace it.
So has this year been the first year where you've gone like, yeah, I'm a full-time poet? Or...
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's always been a sideline thing, but actually paid, getting full-time work this year. Bring it on.
Yeah. And you've come straight from doing a workshop this morning.
Yes, on Zoom. A lot of it's in the theatre of Zoom. It's not quite the same, but I'm still doing it. You know, I'm still putting it out there, putting my words out there.
Well, that's all it needs, really. You don't have to be physically there, do you?
No.
No,
exactly.
For people to hear what you're saying.
Yeah, so I'm glad you sang my name all the way here.
Journey Betty.
I got here with hardly no petrol, but I thought if I'm meant to be here, I'll get there.
Yeah. I just got the train. My first question is, what was the first poem that you ever read?
Read?
Yes. Or the first poem that you remember?
Oh, God, that's a good question. And I can't remember the title. I think I can remember a line, and it was The Red Rope of Love. That might be the title. And do you remember at school the anthologies you had to do? And they were so academic, and you had to deconstruct the poems academically to tick boxes.
I don't remember.
Right.
I got a D in English, mate.
That's fine. I got double D, my dream brass eyes in science.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and my teacher didn't appreciate that comment. It's that, The Red Rope of Love, which was about a mother and baby, and the red rope was the cord. That was the first one. Yeah.
And do you remember that just because it was at school, or do you remember it because it had an impact on you?
I just remember it having an impact on me, thinking, oh, right, okay. So even though I'm bored in this class, I can write things more creatively than this. And you can build pictures up through language. Yeah. So, yeah, you've just triggered my memory there, kid.
Good.
As we were on a school, did you ever think I'd write a book called Dealer to Healer when you were like sat at the back of English? Because you just said you got a D, you were published.
No, I didn't ever think that I would be able to write a book. That was because I was dyslexic.
So you kind of knew you had a problem with words. Say problem, but...
I just was slow. I'm slow at reading. I can't spell very well.
Right.
English wasn't like my thing. Obviously, like English, like oral presentation and stuff, I would always get
smash
an A.
it.
I'd smash out of the park if I just stood up and they could say, just chat about this for a bit. I'd like smash it. I could just talk. But writing stuff down and story, and I was so like writing and poetry didn't come into my life till a lot later. Like I was just a sportsman at school. Do you know what I mean? Of sports and naughty and in trouble and like drugs and everything like that was what I was doing when I was a kid. So like, yeah, miles and miles away from any thought process of ever writing a book.
Do you think though that you being naughty and stuff could have been triggered maybe from having dyslexia? Maybe you made it or not. From taking it, internalising it, thinking something's up with me. No,
just like being naughty. It's fun.
I do. But mine's come out as an adult. Yeah, I was so shy at school. I used to wag it because I didn't want to be there.
Yeah. And I loved school. I wasn't shy. I was just like naughty. I liked it. For me, like a classroom, that was almost like I was in a theatre. I performed for everybody, so I had the whole class laughing.
That doesn't shock me.
Teacher in stitches. I'd have the teacher like destroyed. Like I'd destroy everybody, and people would just be having a great time. So that was like I just enjoyed that setting. Yeah, I'd get thrown out most of the time, but it was the English thing. I wasn't frustrated. I was frustrated more, I think, in just my life and what had happened. Not because I was I excelled in school was easy for me, and like it wasn't pushing me enough really. Like the things that I didn't like, I didn't excel at, like English and science and religious studies and shit like that. But like, you know, I liked geography and I could smash maths, and
I could
PE I was like great at. But
what did you do at PE? I was a sprinter. 100 metres.
I was football and then long distance. I could just run forever, but I was pretty quick as well. But
yeah. Is that because you used to running from the police?
A few times.
Good training.
I remember actually running from the police through this school. God, how's that memory come back to me? And he had this... So, do you know a brand called Giogoi? It's like a Mancunian, Manchester.
No.
Giogoi, Giogoi.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a Mancunian brand. I think it still exists. And a lad that played football for my stepdad's team, he gave me this Giogoi coat, and it's smart as anything, a waxed coat, and I loved it. And he was the coolest guy that I knew. He was like the best player in the team, and I admired him. And he had all these connections with the Donnellys, were his cousins, who were the guys who designed it. They were the designers. So I had this coat and I loved it. And I remember I don't know why we were getting chased by the police, and we ended up running through this school. And anyway, I've run through this school and then jumped over the fence. And then as I've come down, I've caught the back of my coat on, on one of the metal spikes. So I'm just hanging there, like,
oh my God,
waiting for it to fall, like trying to. And then I think I had to. What did I?
Were you stuck on it like Jesus?
I had to undo it. I had to get someone to undo it as I was hanging there, and then get out of the coat. And I made sure that I got it off the fence, but it was ripped a bit down the back.
That's just triggered a memory for me, and I was proper shy at this age, and I was hanging out on our school drinking cider, like you do, in moon boots. Do you remember moon boots?
No.
Right, they were ridiculous, massive boots.
Oh, like the Spice Girly kind of things.
Yeah, so I had them on, obviously, and then we had to run from the police over the fence. I nearly broke my leg. We've all run from the police, haven't we?
Yeah.
At some point. It's what you do. It's good
have
for
a good time if you
well, in Salford, it's like a Zumba class running from the police. It's like a regular thing you do.
You probably just bump into other people running from the police in Salford, don't you?
Yeah, probably.
Just crash into each other and just get you all.
You are funny. I wanted to ask you a question.
Go on.
About fashion.
Yeah.
So when I first met you, we did your cacao ceremony when times were normal, and you put on this amazing jacket, and I loved it. And I just wonder, over your spiritual journey, has that affected the way you dress, changed it in any way, or not?
Yeah, I reckon so. Like, I guess I've always kind of dressed a bit differently. But I think since I got into the spirituality, it's changed a little bit. But I just mix things, you know what I mean? Like, I would even say that I cross-dress a lot. Like, I wear a lot of women's clothes.
Like what? Dresses? Literal dresses?
No, that jacket was a woman's jacket. Them two jackets that I was wearing that day were both women's jackets.
Yeah.
And I might wear, like, a woman's T-shirt because the cut will be a bit different in the neck. You know, it'd be a little bit lower. I don't like being restricted.
That's cool, though. Who says that's for a man and that's for a woman?
No, it's not. Exactly. But, you know, you would never tell that I'm cross-dressing. Some people might think I look a little bit fruity, but...
Like a berry.
Like a berry. But yeah, it's changed. Like, I don't know. It's just... I think it's become more colourful, especially over the last couple of years, since I've started doing, like, the yoga raves and stuff, and bringing, like, a lot of dance music into it's become a lot more vibrant. It's like spirituality can still be vibrant, can be modern, can be, like, hip, can be funky. Do you know what I mean? And, like,
definitely.
I want to be, like, the rock and roll of the spiritual community.
I think you are.
Probably.
You are, aren't you? The Rolling Stones of the spirits. But in those, not Zumba, the yoga things, yoga
raves.
What the hell do you do? I want to come to one, but I've never been.
It's just the banging yoga class.
Yeah.
With dance, with a live DJ, and we play bangers. We do a proper practice. We chant mantra. It's really traditional. It's really spiritual.
Yeah.
But then we dance like dancing to house music, dancing to dance music, drum and bass, whatever it is, gabba, whatever it is, can be a spiritual experience, and it's as if it has to be it's separated. So we've just opened this door to allow it to become into the practice. Like, wow. it can be clean. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't. A lot of people go to raves, and a lot of ex-addicts feel like they can't go to raves or can't go and do these things anymore because it's around drink and drugs.
Yeah.
Whereas we're going, no, you don't have to do it around drink and drugs. We can do a dance party, we can do a yoga rave, we can have a better time, actually, and feel amazing the next day and not want to kill ourselves on Thursday. It's always a positive, isn't it?
It's always a positive. Yeah, it really is. No, that's a good... So you're getting high, vibrationally high, aren't you?
Vibrationally high. You get high from
amazing,
singing mantra, you get high from the practice, you get high from being in that space with so many other people who are... And we're making people commit to positive transformation. Like, I'm not here to fanny about for you to come to me for 5 years and gradually progress as a human. It's like, fucking get it done next week. Get your shit together.
You're like Mr. Motivation of cacao.
Totally, I'll kick your ass.
Have you ever had any addicts turning up that want to come clean, but they've not? They've come and they've had some, drugs. So I work with addicts, you see, a lot, and it's interesting to be able to tell them to go. But I wonder, have you ever had temptations if turned up a bit off the box?
No, because they'd get kicked out.
No, that's right.
Yeah, it's not the place. Like,
of course they get kicked.
Come back when you're straight. Like, I'm not having your energy affecting the beautiful energy that we've created. That's, yoga's about, it's the medicine of the divine. It's the medicine of creator, of God, whatever you want to call it, source energy, and that's pure. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean you can't drink, but in our spaces where we're committing to God and we're offering our practice up to the creator.
Yeah.
Like, all the fruits of the practice we give up to the creator, and everyone's like, but I want the fruits for myself. I want to feel the benefits. It's like, chill the fuck out. Give it to the creator. He gives it you back times 7. So why would you not just give it him every time?
It's hard though to make other people understand that, isn't it? Well, that's what you do, but
yeah, force it down the throat. No, don't force it down the throat. If they come to my event, it's down your throat because you're coming to my event. You're giving me access to you as a human to have a positive influence on your life, and the amount of positive influences I've had on people's lives over the last few years has just been insane. And some people don't like the way I work. I don't give a fuck.
Why don't they like the way you work?
Because I'm quite forceful. I'm quite I'm quite brutal. I'm quite disciplined.
Are you a bit like the 12th step in the 12 steps of addiction? No, because they really pull out.
Awakening.
They really pull out.
All the 12 steps are forceful.
Yeah.
Everybody in the world should have to do the 12 steps, in my opinion.
I've thought that because I've worked poetically with people who've gone through that, and I've not, because I've not had problems, luckily, with alcohol. Yeah. Just Haribo. And when they tell me about it, they're like, it's so hard. They tear your ego away from you, they speak straight. But sometimes I suppose that's what we all need, really, innit?
Totally, and it's to identify your own responsibility in the action, the things that have happened in your own life, because we just all want to blame each other.
Oh, no.
And it can be the first step onto a spiritual practice and to turning your life around. It's if you get a good. I had fucking hardcore guy who was taking me through the 12 steps. You know what I mean? He was vicious, and that's what I need, and that's what I like, and that's what makes me grow quicker.
Really?
And it's like, he was just like, you fucking need to get this done. Don't fuck about. Get it done. You need to come to this many meetings this week. If you've not, I'm going to be on your case. It's like, poof, yeah, right, okay. That's what I want to learn from. Do you know what I mean? They're the people who motivate me, and that doesn't work for everybody. Some people need a softly approach, and some people think they need a softly approach and actually need a rocket up their arse. And it's like, we have this saying in like my inner circle, it's like 0 shit houses. Let's crack on. We get stuff done as a group together, and we support each other. Well,
I've been to one of your cacaos, haven't I? Only one. I'm very new to this kind of it, but I didn't know what to expect. I loved it, and I took so much from that. In fact, that gave me the kick up a rocket up my ass to finish writing my book, and that's out now. And I really believe I shifted some of that in your ceremony. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and cacao acts as a creativity enhancer. It allows a lot. It clears the mind. Like you would have had a lot of doubt and self-doubt tapping away in your head that's restricting you from making that positive step towards getting the book finished. And cacao clears that space and actually allows more space for more creative avenues, for more creative, storylines and plot twists for writers. And the amount of writers that come to the ceremonies and say exactly the same thing, it's motivated them to get the book done, it's motivated them to write more.
Do you reckon you can ever get to a point in your life with no self-doubt ever coming in? What do you think?
But I think a little bit of it's good in a way, do you know what I mean? Otherwise, I don't know, you just jump off a cliff and fly. But maybe we are Neo, you know what I mean? Maybe it is the Matrix, maybe we actually can do that. I sometimes crosses my mind. Yeah. Can I just jump off this and fly? But I have to have a little bit of doubt pulling me back, because I'm
to save you.
Not quite sure. Well, not to save me, it doesn't matter if I die, it's like, be interesting, when you die you just wake up again. This is just a dream, enjoy it.
A computer game, you said in your interview with Patrick. Yeah. I love that term. Life's a computer,
Of course it is, and level up, and you'll get born with better circumstances and better powers the next time you get incarnated.
Something I'm really coming across lately is, and a few years ago I would have disagreed with this, because I've been listening to Dr. Michael Beckwith. Yeah, that's right. And that's when Dyer and Patrick sent me loads of great links. How, like you say, we blame each other, but your circumstances, everyone has the ability to change them. And it's all right for them. It's all right for them. And I used to be a bit like that. But you can recreate wherever you're from, can't you?
Of course you can. The worse your circumstances, the better your possibilities are.
Yeah.
Your possibilities are endless with the worst. Ram Dass talks about God give me more suffering so that I can support and empower more people to grow, and so I can get closer to you. So if you were born into difficult circumstances, it's you're the lucky one, because people who haven't got that past experience and then don't have the life experiences to fall back on that can support and empower other people. Like I don't know if you've seen I'm Not Your Guru by Tony Robbins, and there's a girl and she's been born into a cult and she's been gang raped like from being a child.
Right, I'm gonna watch.
And
this.
he knows instantly she has got the potential to be so powerful, to support and empower so many other women who are going through the same thing, because they wouldn't have had it as bad as her. And they're worrying about their own shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, we all want to go, oh, that's why I won't have in any of my things. It's like,
Drama.
I feel so sad. I've had it worse than you. It was worse for me than, if only you'd had my life. It's like,
people
shut
compete.
the fuck up, man.
People compete with it, don't they?
Yeah.
And then in the opposite hand, you'll be good at this, right? When you're doing well, at the moment, I'm doing well, and I'm so grateful, but I've worked for it, and I'm channeling it, and I'm happy about that. Some people don't like it. What's that about?
Oh,
What the fuck's that about?
Biggie said, "You're a jealous. You're a weak ass motherfucker, a weak jealous motherfucker." And it's like, in the hood he'd get loads of jealousy, and he was a beautiful, beautiful poet and a beautiful man. And you're always going to get jealousy, and like I get letters through my door, hate mail, and it empowers me. Use it to empower you.
Hate mail?
Yeah.
Bloody hell. Well,
Wait till you get on that, then you made it, girl.
Give me some hate mail. I don't want hate mail.
I put it up in my bathroom. It's framed. It's like, yeah, man.
I feel sorry for the person that's took time out of their life to write you a letter and hate you.
Exactly, because the hate's not in me, the hate is in them.
They need love, don't they?
Well,
Do you send them a love letter back? Oh, you don't know
I don't know their address. They write it anonymously as if it's supposed to scare me or something.
It's a shame
I've
that.
done ayahuasca. You can't scare me, guys. I've done ayahuasca. I died. My body got ripped into 1,000,000 billion pieces, thrown through the universe. I was unplugged from the matrix, and that's quite destroying. Whatever you can throw at me in this world is not coming close to that.
What's ayahuasca? Sorry, I'm a
Ayahuasca
novice.
is a powerful plant medicine.
Okay.
I'm sure Patrick's got loads of people talk
He's
about
probably
it.
told me. I've talked about plant medicine. Does it make you sick? Is it that
Makes
one?
you sick, yeah. But then you go and journey with interdimensional beings. You see your life. It kills you. You die. You feel like you've gone for 1,000 years. It's traumatic and at the same time magical and beautiful. But for someone to send me a hate mail thing and think that I'm going to be at all bothered by it.
Toilet paper, innit, when you run out?
Oh, no, it's posters, man. Inspiration. It's inspiration. The more you get in, the more you know you're doing something positive, because there's always going to be people wanting,
That's true, that, innit? The more
wanting
you
to pull you
talked
down.
about, you're doing something, aren't you?
And that's just based on their circumstances, so you can't be angry with them. You're just like, I'm actually, I'm happy. Send me some more.
Yeah. Wow. That's powerful, that.
That's what you've got to flip. It's just everything's reframing. How can I make this for my advantage? How can this inspire me and empower me? And if, people are jealous, it means you're doing the right thing, darling. That's all.
Yeah.
So embrace that.
Good tip, that kid. Take it away.
Take it away with you. You can have that one. So, I had another question.
Okay.
What was the first poem that you... first poem or poet that you fully admired and got into,
It's quite a modern day poet. There's a couple. There's not one. The first poet, I can't remember the name in school. It would have been an academia one, because I didn't mind the academic ones so much. Loads of people hate them. I quite like pulling words apart. Pardon?
Seamus Heaney.
Yeah, exactly. And but modern day, I have to say, George the poet for me. I love him.
Yeah.
Because he was if you know his story, he's a rapper.
Yeah.
And I saw him interviewed on something, and he'd gone to a rap night, and something happened, like the mic didn't work, and he read it out and thought, hang on, actually, I'm a poet.
Yeah.
And for me, for being a bloke as well, and I think he said it, you know, he was mates with people, had gang friends and all that, to come back and say that straight back, amazing. Katie Tempest,
yeah, I saw her when she was first coming
Did
up. I think at Camden Crawl or something in like 2006 or something, like early on, and just to see where she's
gone to.
Yeah, she's
another leveler. She's not just a poet, I'd say rapper, hip hop massively. She's got the musical element to it as well.
Yeah.
But storytelling, boom.
Yeah.
I'd love to see her live.
Yeah.
So if you're watching Katie, you know, throw me a free ticket.
It's on Zoom, mate.
It's on Zoom. I live on Zoom. The theatre of Zoom. Tell you what about you? Because you're a poet.
Sometimes, yeah. It was for I think it for me, it came really strong for quite a few years, and then the last couple of years, it's like, it's really rare. I don't know if it's because of what I'm doing, I've got other focuses, but my poetry is being used a lot in the stuff that I do.
Brilliant.
But yeah, it just started. That's what I wanted to ask you actually about.
Okay.
Because for me, it just it was just like it was channeling down. It would just come through, like a whole poem would just come out of me, and I'd be like, "What?" It's like I'd vomited it out. You know what I mean? It just appeared on a page, and it didn't feel like it was me writing it. And some stuff that I've wrote, I'm like, wow, how have I wrote that? You know what I mean? And I feel like, for me, it is something else channeling through me.
I feel that a lot. It depends. I used to do a lot of bespoke commissions. I don't feel like that with those, but I do feel like I'm channeling other voices through me to get it out there. But when that happens and it comes out on the page, I feel it's like, I don't know, it is like energy's coming through you, and it's a message that needs to go out, and that's the way it's channeled through you, like an instrument. Poetry is an instrument to me. And I play it in loads of different ways.
Totally.
And sometimes people don't like it because it's a bit gritty and harsh. And oh well. Do you know, my main thing was it's my voice, because I went from being a very shy girl to the opposite. So I try and even it out and help others have a voice that way.
Yeah. And so how did you do that? How did you go from being a shy girl? What did you do to get the confidence that you needed?
Oh God. I always knew I was quite quick-witted on the spot. So sometimes when lads and stuff were giving me shit or whatever, I'd one-liner them and they'd fall. But obviously they'd come back 10 times more, and I curbed my mouth for a bit. And then I thought, no, actually, I'm going to learn to use this one-lining power to put people right in their fucking place when they need it.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. And then my writing just was it was like a joint process of my mouth and writing. So no, it weren't like an overnight thing.
Yeah.
And body image, I suffered bad with body dysmorphia, and I think that whole journey just interweaved in itself, if that makes sense. Yeah.
I think as you're getting older as well, you sort of just, you're more comfortable in your own skin. You're not thinking about what everybody else thinks all the time. Like, your 20s is so angsty, do you know what I mean?
God, it's so staged, isn't it? I was a makeup artist in my early 20s, but when I look back, really, it was the worst thing I could have done. I was trying to perfect myself. I couldn't do it, like, in front of a mirror all day, trying to sell perfect images and be up it. Made me ill. But I'm glad I thank it now. I thank it. Because I've took so much from it. I did skin camouflage makeup for the British Red Cross for a while, voluntary, and I've took, loads from that. But 30's a different to 20's, defo.
Totally. Bring on 40's, man. Can't wait.
Yeah, I'll see when
I'm so excited. Everything just gets better and easier, I think.
Well, you shed skin, I suppose, don't you? Literally.
Yeah. And apparently for a man, like, you have... your kundalini properly awakens when you get into sort of from 40 to 42, so quite excited for that.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm not driving anything when it does awaken. So I might just stick to cycling at the moment. I ain't got a car at the minute, so I might just stick to cycling till I'm like 44.
Yeah.
So it's safe now. Right, I've had my kundalini awakening, I'm good.
Yeah.
Actually, I won't even need me bike then, I can just levitate to places.
Totally. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I've got a question for you.
Go on then.
Okay. So, from dealer to healer. Yes.
Yeah.
Would you have any advice for people that are in that life of dealing and going through those emotions of hating the world and being stuck in a rut, but see you and think, what do what Liam's doing, but are scared and don't know how to kind of take those first steps? What would you say to people that might be watching this or come to your ceremonies? Because it's a massive inspirational thing, really, to change your life from that. I see it in the prison system all the time. People want to do it, but they're too scared of what others will think, and the families.
Well, the biggest thing is to let go of that and to know that you've got to just go with what your heart's saying. If your heart's saying this isn't working for me, this is not what I want to be doing. It's like, stick at it. You're going to be anxious for the rest of your life until you get put in prison. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you don't get put in prison, even the highest drug dealers and gangsters are still anxious because they know there's always this chance of them getting caught.
Yeah.
So they're always living in this state of angst. But if you were wanting to step away from it, I would just say, look at the people that you're around. Be willing to let go of everything, because if you stay in it, you're probably gonna die, and you're gonna that. Everything's gonna be gone then anyway.
Yeah.
So why not just make the choice of letting go of it? If you let go of it, and these people are true friends, they'll still be around, but maybe you don't see them for a little while.
Yeah.
But if you're stepping into the light, you'll start to find your tribe, and it'll be in and out for a little while, in and out, in and out, in and out. I can't let it go. I can let it go. I'm going to step over here. Oh, I've relapsed a little bit and I'm back here fucking about for a while. It's just a process. It's like, just start doing positive things. Start seeing how other people behave and treat each other in these other communities. Go travelling.
Yeah.
Go
travelling does so much.
Because when you've grown up in a certain area, you're stuck in the perspective, the expectations of that. You're stuck in the expectations of the social group that you become part of, if it's other drug dealers or, other people who are doing a lot of crime. To go travelling, you're nothing when you go travelling. You got a backpack, you're nothing.
Oh, I love travelling. I loved it. Yeah, that's good advice, that. Because it takes a lot of bravery, doesn't it? A lot of digging deep to just do it.
Yeah. My mate, it's a funny story actually. My mate's in prison, he's doing 21 years, and I hadn't been to see him. And I went to see him with his brother and I think it was another mate or another two mates. And I used to live with him actually when all the stuff that he was doing was going on, and I was a yogi. So it was so funny, like all the lads just thought it would be the most amazing, like kind of fly on the wall docu-soap if they filmed us living together, because he was doing all this. He had money, he was playing golf all the time, he was hanging around with these high-level gangsters, and I was just fucking meditating on his deck outside, you know what I mean, doing yoga, not getting involved. And it was a really good test for me because there was a lot of money going on, you know what I mean, and there was a lot of things happening that I could have done a little thing and made a lot of money, and I was not earning any money at the time. And it was a good challenge, because I was just like, no, I'm not doing anything. And so I went to see him in prison, and he's actually found his calling. He's just doing art, and he's supporting all the other people doing art. And
brilliant.
To tell people that he's doing art now, they're like, what? He's doing art? And you're like, he's getting commissioned to do paintings.
Amazing.
And so anyway, the thing was, I went in, and he went, thank fuck. I went, what? He said, I've told all the lads in here that there's my mate's coming, and he might come in like a leotard and some leggings and like the most out there stuff. And he went, but I looked out this morning, I thought, well, it's raining, so he's gonna have to wear a coat.
That's brilliant.
And probably jeans. So he'd prepped all these like criminals that one of his mates might come in leggings to try and embarrass him.
And did you?
No, I didn't. I don't even think I was dressed that outrageously. I was just dressed pretty normal. I think I had like a rain mac on, but it was just the fact that he'd prepped all these criminals that I might be coming in to embarrass him.
There's such a hierarchy in prison, isn't there? So I can imagine him prepping that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't embarrass him. But we had a great laugh in the prison.
Did you?
It was amazing, yeah. Because
in the visit?
He got moved to one, and it's really chilled. And it's a really good vibe, where the one he was in before, like, I think it was in Preston or something, and it was like naughty stuff happening every day, and the energy in there. When my mates went to see him, they were like, you didn't even want to talk or laugh. You were just like whispering.
Wow, it can happen.
And it's like,
yeah,
it's just like, it was great seeing him.
Your community service that you did, because you've spoken about it, you made me laugh, but it was true. Because I see it all the time in the work I do. You went, so I got my head down, I thought I'm just going to smash it out, I don't want to do it, but I have to. And you said something like, and I met these lads that had 50 hours, and then they had 500 hours because they were burning seats or something.
No, because they hadn't gone to do the 30 hours, they'd missed it, they hadn't done it within the time frame, so they just kept accumulating more, and I was like, wow, this is the brain cells of some humans. I was just like, really, why would you...
It's a shame, isn't it? It's the mindset, innit? And limited beliefs, mate. Some of them do think they deserve that life and they get stuck in that rut.
Yeah. But it was like dealing with men and like mid-20s. And these lads that I was doing it with, they were just, it was like, how can you get 30 hours community service? Like I had 200 hours and I smashed it out in a month or something. You know
Smashed it out?
Smashed it out. I didn't want it hanging over me. I smash everything out. It's like,
you've got to do it, get done, yeah.
If I can crack on with my life now,
Would you ever want to put your experiences from your book or your life into a production? Because you're an actor as well, aren't you? Or you've done acting.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Stage play of Liam Browne.
Who knows? Somebody said it should be turned into a film, so we'll see what happens.
Get on it.
Maybe. I'm too busy at the moment. It'd have to be for someone else to do. Someone else to read it and go, this should be turned into a film. That'd be good. Because I ain't going to do it at the minute.
Well, it's something good to look at, because I'd watch it. I'd go and see it. I'd want a live performance.
Do you want me in it?
Or
who would you want to play me?
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump playing me. So not Tom Hanks, but Forrest Gump. Tom Hanks, can you play Liam as Forrest Gump trying to play Liam?
I think you should direct it. Patrick should direct it. I don't know. You put me on the spot. Would I want to see... You're the one that can tell the story the best. So, yeah, you.
Okay. I'll do it.
I'll look forward to that on Netflix.
Sign me up.
Okay.
Awesome. Wasn't expecting that question. Right. First poem you wrote?
Was when I was probably in primary school. I don't fully remember it, but I can tell you when I was...
Do you remember it? You don't remember the whole thing?
I just said I don't remember. I used to talk in rhyme. I think I've said this to Patrick in one of the podcasts. When I was a kid and acquiring language, like my little son is now, my mum said I would literally rhyme everything and just talk in rhyme and rhyme back at people. So no, I can't remember my very, very first poem. But I remember at my friend's 21st, and everyone was there doing the 21-year-old stuff. I said, written a poem, but I'd done it properly with all facts about her, and I stood up and did it. And the whole room was like, oh my God. Because, so I remember that.
It was about your friend?
Yeah, for a 21st present.
Amazing.
Oh, I've written so many poems and I've been skint. Because people are like, wow. Because
well appreciate more than a present.
Yeah, well, it depends what social circles you're in. But that's what they were getting. That's much more effort than spending money. But the first poem I ever got commissioned to do, I don't know if I've said this in another thing, was for Fred Dome, Bet Fred.
Right, okay.
But he didn't commission me. It was a surprise for his birthday because his friend wanted to get him something, and I'd never done it before. And I blagged it. I said I'd written it and not performed properly.
Yeah.
But that was my first paid performance. I blagged.
So you did it at his birthday?
Yeah, I was like a present. A talking present.
You was a present.
Well, not me, the poem. I performed it, gave it him, and then went home.
Jenny Berry in a box.
Well, an after dessert with berrying in a rhyme. Yeah.
All over it. And did it go well?
Yeah, I didn't fall over. No, it went really well, actually, because when it's bespoke and it's meaning, it's personal. So I could write a lot of funeral eulogies and stuff, and it's the personal things that matter, doesn't it? Liam.
Yes,
so,
Jenny.
When I first met you at your cacao ceremony, the first I got from your vibes that you're fun and you're mank. I love it because I'm Salford, and I felt I'll get on with him. Even though I was there not to chat to you, you like someone's vibes or you don't, and it's nothing personal, but I liked your vibes, and you seem a dead fun person. So I'm going to ask you about a topic now because I've asked some women about it recently, and they've winced. So I thought it'd be fun to ask you about it.
Cool.
Before I tell you the topic, I'm only saying it because I've got endometriosis and we had that discussion and it was so refreshing to meet a man, because your sister's got it, to know and understand what it was.
Yeah.
So, vagina steaming.
Yoni steaming.
Yoni steaming.
Or yoni dipping. as
Yoni
it's called,
dipping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on that? I know you don't have a vagina.
Well, I've not done it.
I'm so glad I got that reaction.
I've got female friends who do. I don't even know if I've, like, I don't even know if I know much about it, but
Right.
if it's doing something good to your yoni, why not steam it?
So
Don't burn it, though.
The reason I brought this up, because I like to go into taboo topics, but that shouldn't be taboo, it's a part of your body.
Exactly.
I've asked some women who I know recently with endo, and they've literally winced. I'm like, come on, girls, we've got this disease. We want to make it better.
Yeah.
And we have vaginas. So let's just talk about it.
And that's where the problem of endometriosis is coming from, the vagina area.
To
To
get access
it's all,
it, yeah.
all in there, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's like, it's not like you're at your shoulder.
Actually, endo can travel around your body, I've been told, but it's very, the main parts are in your stomach, and that's the pain. Right. Yeah. So you know a lot of your...
I know a lot of my female people that have it, that steam the yonis, and do a lot of womb work, a lot of womb wisdom.
Well, Becky Unwin, she's like a family. She's doing lots and lots of work and been talking about womb work as well.
Yeah. My business partner Joanna Barnes does a lot of female stuff. She holds a lot of she does like wild women's circles.
Oh, really?
And stuff, and they're like really, really popular and really, really important for people to cleanse a lot of pain, and especially from stuff like from pregnancy, from relationships, from maybe you've had a miscarriage or stuff like that. It's just like it's something in you that needs healing, that needs cleansing. Otherwise, you're just carrying. Yeah, you're not going to get over like maybe a death of a child or like having a miscarriage, but it's like making it easier because you're not storing all this negativity
and it's the energies,
attached to
isn't
it.
it?
Yeah, you're not pushing it down. You're letting it up and release it.
I didn't know. I'm not going to start going into this in detail, but if you have intercourse with someone, that their energies and stay within your womb.
Yeah.
So
for
a lot of
years,
women, 7
in your
years.
energetic system. Yeah.
Jeez.
Don't be fucking about anymore. Once you know that, you stop fucking about.
I'm married, so it's fine.
Oh yeah. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So you should be all right. You should be free of all your old debris.
I wouldn't put. There's a lot of debris there, thanks. Oh my God, Liam.
I'm sorry.
You're funny.
But you know what I mean.
Yes. Just to clarify, I am not a slag.
Jenny Berry is not a slag. Liam Browne was once a slag.
Liam.
Jenny.
You've come so far, like when I
come from Manchester. It's only 25
Well, you came in your head, didn't you? You're like Dr. Wayne Dyer's sidekick. No, you've done so much. You telling me in your podcasts, you wasn't telling me. I listened in your podcast with Patrick, and you said you got a girl pregnant when she was really young, and you've had a lot going on in your life. What do you want for you in the next 10 years?
For me,
would you want kids?
Yeah. Might have kids. See, if it happens, it happens.
No, like, would you be open to having children?
Yeah, I would like to have children.
I think you'd be a very cool dad.
I'm good with kids.
Yeah.
Good with all my friends' kids love me.
I'll have to introduce
I would like to have kids.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't have attachment like I used to. I'll have kids because I thought it'd make me feel better.
Yeah.
I thought it'd like sort parts of my life out. I thought it'd help me get rid of the angst of losing my mum, losing that aspect of unconditional love that is, but is all around me all the time, But at the time I was like, I feel like I needed something to replace my mum.
Oh, bless you.
So, but now it's like if it happens, amazing. If it doesn't, then
also amazing.
I'm just gonna crack on with my life and like doing the work. Like the most important thing for me is to be a vessel for the Christ conscious energy, to be able to put that Christ consciousness into other people, for them to become aware of it, to use the power of Jesus Christ to heal people, and to be connected to source energy, and to be carrying out whatever it is that God sent me here to do, whatever my life purpose is, to try and really be living that.
Yeah, definitely.
But on like a material, physical plane, then I would say within 10 years I want to be living in a community. I want to buy a village.
Okay,
and
you want to buy a village?
have people living off grid in different houses and have a retreat centre.
Wow, that is so cool.
Out of, self-sufficient, sustainable,
Yeah.
Living off grid, not attached to the, the grid, the mainstream.
Yeah.
But be able to bring people in and sort of start opening them up to these other ways, to sustainable buildings, to yoga, and just keep growing as a yoga teacher, and keep growing my business. I want to be going on tour with yoga raves. I want to be going on tour with cacao ceremonies.
I can see that happening.
And I want to go to other countries doing what I'm doing. But it's all happening.
Brilliant. It's unfolding as it should.
Exactly.
As everyone's kind of path is, isn't it?
Mm. But I think people who, like yourself, who see me as this kind of like, I'll get on with him, I like him, he's fun, he's funny.
Grounded.
Wouldn't feel that I can do what I do in ceremonies. Do you know what I mean? Where I just, I'm in the space, I'm in the energy, I'm focused. And we still have fun, but it's serious work that
That's
we're doing.
what I liked about it, though. Do you know what I mean? Because some people I've met who do things, I've not been to a cacao ceremony, they're just a little bit, I don't know, I just felt your vibes and thought, I can feel that ease. Maybe it's your accent and your lingo like mine. I'm into words very much so. I don't know.
What's your favourite word?
Occipital.
Occipital?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's a muscle at the back of the cranium.
Oh, nice.
I just like the sound of it.
Nice. Cool. I can't think of mine off the cuff. What other questions did I have? No, I think we've kind of covered that. I think I'm going to ask you the same question that you've just asked me.
Go on.
Where do you see, what's your dream?
My dream. So, I have so many. To all function at the same time. I want to I'm getting into meditation. Probably compared to you and Patrick, and probably so unbelievably small to where I am with it. But I want to keep developing that massively. I've only just started experience proper highs from meditation, which is great. And also, I can feel people, I've been told, I'm an empath, but I can feel it when people in my circles are calling me. And I've been told how to protect myself from that. Because I'm very open. But I want to just keep getting higher in my mind with that and only attract to what I need, the positive people and things around me. And go as far as I can with that. In my job, I want to be a successful TV writer.
TV writer?
Yeah.
What
Comedy.
Kind of things? You want to write TV comedy?
I've had a dabble at it recently and had good feedback.
Awesome.
But I'm still, that's such a opposite of the industry's so egotistical. But I feel quite lucky because I'm doing my workshops and do what I do with societies, which I really want to help. That's my passion. But I want to use script writing to give voice to them characters and use comedy in that way. So that's what I'd like to develop. Theatre and TV, to be honest. And a one-woman show. That's what I definitely want to do, poetry and comedy, but to tackle very taboo areas of life.
So have you done theatre? Have you done stuff on stage?
No, I've had no theatre training whatsoever. Okay. I've kind of blagged not blagged, evolved. I'm developing my own performance skills now. But when I've worked with actors and stuff, with my speaking skills and things like that, people said, do you have voice training? No, it must be a natural thing, but I would like to develop it professionally to some level. I don't want to be an actress in any way.
Well, there's another thing, isn't there? Is you don't want to get rid of your rawness.
Yeah.
You want to kind of keep that. You can get overtrained and you can train out of you what your kind of uniqueness is. So. Yeah,
that's a really good point. If I would have been younger, I would have probably gone into acting, but I wanted to, but I was too shy inside. Yeah. So I'm kind of doing all what I wanted to do when I was younger now. So
amazing.
Why not?
So that dream's coming true.
Yeah, and probably another child.
Another child.
I'm not rushing. I'm not bothered that I am nearly 37. My son's nearly 3 and all that treadmill, what everyone's on. Honestly, I come out the church and someone said to me when I got married, you going to have a baby? As I walked out, I was like, I'm going to have a shot, to be honest. Don't know about you, but I'm going to get pissed. It's my wedding day.
It's so much pressure.
No, so if I do have another baby, great. If I don't.
Also, yeah.
But that's what I'd like, just to be the happiest I can ever be, because I think it's an ongoing process.
Of course it is.
Do you know what I mean? And body image and all that, keep working at that, because that can just fall down like dominoes some days.
Yeah.
And just develop myself.
Yeah, and the more work you're doing on yourself and meditation, and like you talk about the yoni dipping in the womb stuff, like that, all that gets rid of a lot of stuff to do with like, you know, some women who've had like 4 or 5 kids.
Yeah.
It's like it's gonna have a little bit of wear and tear, but you're still magnificent and
Not
wonderful.
if you did hypnobirthing.
Maybe not, but you know, whatever else comes up, it's like, well, what can I get to a state where I still love myself and still love my body, and I'm actually feeding it healthily, I'm looking after it, I'm doing a bit of yoga or a bit of, you know, sport. It's like whatever it may be, to just make yourself feel invigorated, powerful and empowered.
Yes.
You know, it's like that's all you can hope for.
Exactly.
So 10 years you want to be friends with Kate Tempest?
I want that in about 12 months.
Want it now?
I want it now.
Kate, get it.
Have you seen Afterlife on Netflix?
Afterlife? I don't think
What's
so.
the comedian called? Come on, Out the Office. The guy that wrote and did The Office.
No, I've not seen it.
Oh, right, okay. So.
Oh, yes, they have. Ricky Gervais.
Ricky Gervais, as if
I'm thinking of one of the other ones who's not called Ricky Gervais, because I thought you must know Ricky Gervais.
I don't know, it's
Jesus.
I know his face.
That's amazing.
Right.
It's amazing.
So, he uses comedy in such a clever, taboo-breaking way, I think. He's not an actor, is he? He's doing acting, but he's not a trained actor. That's not. He's a comedian, writer. So that's my kind of style. I'd love to have a go and go at, because that's the way I naturally am. I couldn't write. Well, at the moment, I don't know what I could write, but that inspires me.
Yeah, because that
It
makes you
reaches
laugh,
out.
but it touches you. Like, it made me cry quite a few times.
Yeah.
That, you know.
Oh, God, yeah.
Afterlife, it made me cry quite a bit, because it kind of reminded me of how I felt when my mum died. But then, you know, then there's something, the next thing that's
Hilarious.
so funny, and that's how life should be. It's like you don't have to take it all so seriously. You can still be in the worst, most difficult,
Totally
what you would
can.
classify, what you would label. Everything's about labeling. You can label anything what you want. You can label it good or bad. It doesn't mean it's good or bad. Stop labeling things bad. They're just, you know, it remains to be seen whether it's bad or not. Like you said, oh, all this bad stuff happened to me when I was at school. But then you said after that, but that was the stuff that made me. So it's not bad, is it?
No.
It was really fortunate.
Exactly.
Because how would you have got to that stage without that happening?
Yeah.
So it's beautiful. That's the real beauty in it.
My favourite scene from Afterlife is, you know, the sex worker.
Yeah.
I can't remember her character name. And when she's first, like, trying to get money off him, and he goes, right, how much? She goes, 20 quid an hour, something like that. So he takes her home, and you think he's going to bang this prostitute.
Yeah.
Anyway, he goes, right, get the Hoover out, do me washing. She's like, what? Do you not even want a blowjob? And she's like, you said 20 quid for anything. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Brilliant. And have you seen Derek as well? Derek that he does is a really good one.
No, I've been
In
told
the
about
care home.
this.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Right,
It's funny.
that's what I need to tick off next. Yes. What's your favourite food?
What's my favourite food?
And has it changed throughout the... Are you vegan?
Yeah.
I want to go vegan, but I'm struggling to get there. Go on, boot camp me. Tell me it's my fault and I need to put a rocket up my ass.
You know, the first stage of yoga in the Raja method, Raja yoga, which is what I do, which is, you know,
Right.
the physical practice and its actions and its cleansing, like the 12 steps you would
Right.
classify as probably a big aspect of the, you've got yamas and niyamas. So there's eight stages of Raja yoga or Ashtanga yoga, 8 limbs to it. And what most people think is yoga, physical practice, handstands, stretching, is the third thing. And you don't even need that. You could have no arms and legs and achieve yoga. Yoga's all aimed towards finding enlightenment or self-realization with a big S, like who is the aspect of God that's within me, and how do I allow that to shine? And by doing the yamas and niyamas, you're getting rid of a load of stuff that allows you to then open your body and to be able to practice the physical practice or the meditation more comfortably. So most people don't do any physical practice for like quite a few years until they've done the yamas and niyamas. And the first yama is ahimsa, and that's no harming, non-violence to any other sentient beings.
Okay.
So the first thing about going vegan, like people go, oh, it's health or it's this, or what am I going to feel like? It's like, well, you're going to feel so much better karmically because you're not causing any pain to any
Soul.
other sentient beings, any animals, you know what I mean? And like,
Right.
once you get to that stage, then you go, okay. And it's like, yeah, but I'm not killing him. Okay, so the mafia boss who's sending out his men to go and shoot somebody, he's not responsible, is he not?
Yeah.
It's like, well, if people weren't eating the meat, then the industry wouldn't be existing. So you're fueling the industry. You're fueling the people who are murdering animals brutally, like, you know, abusing them day after day. Oh yeah, but the dairy industry's fucking worse. They're abusing them for the whole life and then killing them. It's like me locking you up and locking Becky up and going, Becky, you can go and, you know, be in the grass, and I'm going to kill you in a couple of years, but you're going to have a good life. And you, I'm going to take your tits, I'm going to stick something metal in them, yeah, and I'm going to artificially inseminate you so it feels like you're always pregnant, so you're always lactating and always producing milk, yeah? And I'm going to keep you there for 7 years, then I'm going to kill you.
Nice.
What's worse? Who's had a better life?
Yeah, that's
Becky's had a better life.
Becky, yeah.
And she's in the meat industry. Yeah. So, firstly, ahimsa, like,
I think you should go into primary schools and deliver that message that way.
Yeah, but a lot of people, like one of my teachers, she's like, people asking her, you know, so, you know, why don't you eat meat? Why don't you eat meat? And she's like, I can't afford it. And they're like, you've got a multi-million-pound yoga business. Of course you can afford it. She's like, I can't afford it. They were like, no, you can afford it. She was like, my body cannot afford the karmic consequences of me eating meat.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. And the guy that I met in Guatemala, he said, I was at a party and he said to this big butch American guy, and this big butch American guy was like, why don't you eat meat? And he's like, my stomach is not a cemetery for dead animals.
Oh, I like that.
And I was like, yes, bro.
And what was the response?
The guy enjoyed the conversation. He was talking about it, and that's when I was first on the cusp of becoming vegetarian, so like 2012. And then it changed for me in 2013. But now, for me, it's like, you know, these yoga teachers who eat meat and fish, and I'm like, you ain't a yoga teacher.
Really?
Yeah, you know. It's like the first yama, the first rule of yoga is non-violence, non-harming of any other sentient beings. And people like people do with religions, interpret it to make it okay for them.
Yeah.
So they go, oh, it's non-harming of myself. No. The yamas are all towards others, so non-stealing, non-lying, non-sexual chastity, no abusing people sexually, and I can't remember. I always forget the last one. Aparigraha. I
didn't know there was that many yogas. Like there's different types of yoga.
There's 4 types of yoga. The one I've just explained is Raja Yoga.
Right.
You've got
Raja Yoga.
Jnana Yoga, which is all about studying scriptures and ancient texts. So like reading the Bible, reading the Bhagavad Gita, reading all these different texts, and you can achieve enlightenment through that. You can achieve self-realization by reading the books, getting the teachings from the books, learning the scriptures, learning the mantras, learning the languages, learning the energy of everything that goes into the mantras.
I like the sound of that.
That's Jnana Yoga, so that's not even a physical practice. You know what I mean? It's just reading books, man, which is my worst nightmare. And then you've got Bhakti Yoga, that's just devotion to God. So meditating, chanting, just kind of being a part of God all the time. And
so can I ask a really thick question now?
Yes.
Might as well have asked a few. What the hell's Pilates then? What's the diff? Right, that's how much of the
physical exercise. That's why I get pissed off when people are going, yoga, you know, because we do some stuff as a support group for yoga classes, and, and people go, oh, but that should be in a gym. That's a physical fitness thing. It's like, I'm teaching yoga. I could just be reading from a book. If it's yoga, you have no idea what I'm doing. People have this conception that yoga is a physical activity.
They do? Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Everybody thinks it is. It's just one part of it. It can be a physical activity.
Yeah.
It can be just singing. It can be me sat in a room reading ancient texts with 3 other people.
Right.
Or it could be me sat at home on my own reading ancient texts. That's yoga.
On a Friday night.
Yoga is union, whereas you engage with the true essence of who you are.
Right.
Away from all the shit, away from identifying as Jenny Berry from Salford, who's this happened to me when I was younger. It's like, no, you're more than that. Once you die, you transcend the physical body. That's your essence. That's who you are.
See, I didn't know all of that, any of that, just till now. I've seen it when I go to the gym. I train at the gym when the gyms are open.
Yeah.
I'm a physical like hit and all that. So, but I don't think gyms even know that. Some people.
No, they don't. And the thing is, and that's the job of the yoga teacher. Like when I first started teaching, this gym said, right, you've got the job. I want you to teach with music, high energy class. And I was like, sweet.
Is that you replying on the email? Sweet, mate.
And they were like, yeah, but there's no chanting in the gym. I was like, oh, well, okay, whatever. So I just thought, do you know what? I'm going to do my thing. Had them chanting Om. Nobody had ever chanted Om in the gym before.
Really?
And then had them chanting mantra, full mantra, at the start of most classes or in the middle of class. Stop, we chant mantra. Yeah? My classes were the busiest in the whole gym.
What did the gym say when you went against?
Nothing in the end, no.
Because you were bringing people in.
And the thing is, if you're a teacher, yeah, and you go in there, you go, oh, well, I'm going to try an Om. Okay, guys, you can do this if you want, or, you don't have to do this. And it's like, I just smash it in the face, and then they love it, and they love the vibration of it. Like, once you've sang mantra, it's like...
Laugh. No, I love, yeah.
As people tell me, like, oh, you can't do an Om. It's like, it's a spiritual practice.
So what's an Om? Should we do one?
Can do if you want.
Go on.
So Om is spelled A-U-M.
Yeah.
A lot of people see it as O and M. And Om is got 3 parts. So R, which is like A, which is like the source of creation, which is the start of most alphabets, the A. And then you've got U, so it's a U.
U, yeah.
And U is like the preservation, so it's you linger on the U for a little bit longer. Okay. Preservation, that's attached to the god Vishnu.
Right.
And you've got which is to do with fire, which is to do with destruction, with letting go of stuff, with removing stuff, to create space. Like even just in your gaff, like clearing out your cupboard that's full of shit at the bottom, and then you just feel better and lighter in your own house.
Okay.
So that's attached to the god Shiva. So A-U-M, so it's A, U, yeah. But in Sanskrit, when the A and the U are together, it becomes just O.
Sorry. Is that right?
That's an Om.
The vibration's just coming from you.
Yeah. So the vibration. So when you do the A, it's up more in your belly and into your heart. The U is in the throat.
Okay.
Yeah. So the throat chakra, it's all about communication, which you're probably pretty good at. And then the is in the head. So when you go you feel the vibration in the head, So it's all about the vibration moving up your body, up your chakras.
Wow. I hope people watch this and they're like, I've learned something, because there's too many people doing jobs that are not trained at it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And there's too many people teaching yoga who are eating meat.
Yeah.
Or eating fish.
Sorry, I'm late. I've just been to Macca's.
Oh, yeah.
Sit down, get your mats out.
And I'm like, you ain't a yoga teacher, bro.
Yeah.
You're not doing the first commandment of the first thing that's expected of you. To not be part of any harm to any other sentient beings. Do you write poetry for your fella very often?
Oh. I have done. Not very often. I write to him a lot. So, because I'm a bit of a fiery one, I sometimes have to pass my messages on in letters, or things could happen.
Yeah. Safer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's nice, though.
I've written him a lot of letters. If fact, if someone was reading, they're like, why is she writing that down? Because it just ended up me losing my temper. I've written more. So for a wedding present, everyone would probably be expecting a poem. But what I did was, I wrote a poem and his sister turned it into a song and sang it.
Nice.
So I've written a couple of like song lyricy stuff to him. It's hard writing. It's not hard, but it takes so much emotion, because I only want to write something if it means something. So I've not done it that often, but when I have, it's been very meaningful. Nice. None of this rose is a red crap.
Yeah. And how does he take them? Does he enjoy it?
Yeah. He tries to write back, and he's done a few things, but he just laughs because he says, I wish I could write like you. Yeah. I'm like, I wish I could be good with money like you. That's why we're married.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And don't wish your life away.
Exactly.
Just allow people to have their talents and
exactly.
Let yours come forward and flourish.
Yeah.
So have you ever done have you ever spat lyrics on a tune?
No, I've not. On a tune, you mean over music?
Yeah.
I've had my
If
words
you ever
made
made
into a... Yeah, no, I've had other people do it, but not me. But that's something I really would love to do. Yeah.
And some of your stuff would go down really well.
Well, I've
that
had...
kind of thing.
I don't know if I can say this, but I've had... I have a lot of rappers contacting me, and I had one a few years ago on social media, and I was talking to him. He said, "Did you write them lyrics?" I said, "Yeah." It was about my prison stuff. He went, "They're beautiful," and he's American, and I do love American rappers, and English, but for some, I just think they're more gritty in America. I appreciate the lyrics more, and I was talking to him for a while, like you do on Instagram, swapping lyrics, and I realised he was in prison from his cell on his phone.
Oh, right.
And I didn't know. Not, you know, but I thought that was amazing. He bought me a book.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that was a few years ago. Won't say who or what medium or anything. I didn't know, but how good is it that we were communicating through different art forms?
Yeah, probably illegally.
Well, I didn't know.
Not on your part. He shouldn't have his cell phone, really, but that's great, no? That he's reaching out and it's having an impact and people are getting something for it, especially in the US, because you often think that it's a different world. And
totally. Well, they have so many strange rules in different states. I only know about the English prison system. So, yeah. But I would... You know what? You've given me a kick up the bum again now to do that. I'm going to do it. Over
and stop eating meat.
Music. I want to. I know the lyric will happen first. At least I'm honest. But yeah, I do want to stop eating meat because of my endometriosis. It kills it and it makes my head so foggy when I'm in pain.
Yeah, and the milk and. You
know, I drink. I don't have milk.
Yeah, but the milk's really bad for it, and cow's milk
terrible
is really bad
for it.
And for me, I think a lot of it stems from being brought up on cow's milk. I would say
we're not baby cows.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Not your tits, not your milk.
Yeah, that should be an advert, that, Liam.
Yeah. But don't you think it's fascinating that when you see adverts of meat, it's always happy, bouncy cows and chickens, and it's like, wow, why don't you just show the reality of it?
Exactly.
You won't sell anything then.
No, it's true. No, it is interesting that, yeah. But it'll carry on going because it makes money.
It's a process. Like I don't shout at anybody who's not eating meat because I'd just be shouting at my old self. And everybody's at different stages.
Yeah.
Time isn't linear. We're all at different, going through different things, and you get there when you need to get there.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of us don't want to see what actually happens because it's like, oh, that's going to make me feel bad, and it's going to make me. I don't want to make changes because changes are difficult, but the whole world is based. The whole world wouldn't exist without changes.
True, absolutely.
So it's like you've got to keep making them.
Liam.
Jenny.
So formal. You said in your podcast, you talked about limited beliefs, which is a big thing to me because I've had them and still have them. And you said, I never thought I could do these things. I'm a lad from Wythenshawe. And do you still see yourself as that lad from Wythenshawe or not?
Yeah.
Because you are a lad from Wythenshawe. Like physically, you are.
There'd be certain things that I'm doing, like when I'm doing a cacao ceremony and or when my shaman teacher's like telling me that I'm a medicine man, and I'm like, what?
So what's a medicine man?
Like serving medicine, like that I serve to you, plant medicine, cacao, drumming, shamanic stuff, like what I do, and it's the cacao is a plant medicine, and to be serving that and to be, not that I identify myself as that. I identify myself as a yoga teacher. I'm trying to push people towards self-realization and empowerment and enlightenment. And one of the aspects that I do that via is by being a medicine man, by serving cacao. But yeah, sometimes I'll step back in some of my ceremonies and it's so beautiful and so cosmic and so like richly spiritual, and you can feel it in the air, and I'm like, wow, what the fuck, like, how am I doing this?
Well, that's you reflect in a positive way, not I can't do that anymore because I'm this person.
No.
It's dead easy though to slip back into that. I get that a lot. I need to work more on that. Do you know what I mean?
But the more and more you identify with your true essence,
the
less and less you identify with your old self, because your old self was just an accumulation of events that happened to you growing up. That wasn't who you were. That was just what created you, and actually you can use that beautifully. Like, I'm always going to be a down-to-earth lad from the streets because that's where I came from.
Exactly.
And even if I'm fucking levitating, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
if I get to the stage where I have the yogic powers that I can levitate, then I'll still be able to laugh at that. You know what I mean? It's like, check me out, guys. Just levitate past my mate's pub. You know what I mean?
See you later.
All right, boys.
Yeah, levitate past McDonald's, tell them all not to eat me.
Oh,
That's
do you know what?
cool.
If like McDonald's doesn't exist within my lifetime, I'd be so happy.
Really? I bet McDonald's will be really glad to hear that.
Don't give a fuck.
Well, I think it will, unfortunately. I think it will, because it makes so much money. Do you know?
No. A lot of things are changing in the world, and as you've seen in the last 12 months, it's really been brought to the front about how things really work and how fragile things are. If I would have told you in 1990 that HMV wouldn't exist in 2020,
that's true.
You would have told me that I was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like these things change, and because the vibration, this 5D vibration, this Christ consciousness, this
5D.
5D. It's just 5-dimensional energy. So we've been living in this 3-dimensional where everything's physical, material, money related, masculine energy. I mean, moving into this, like, we've gone sort of bypassed the 4D and sort of dipped into it a little bit. And 5D is all about oneness, about we're all connected. You know, it doesn't matter what colour skin you are, what sex you are, we're all one. Everything that happens on the planet, you know, if something happens to someone in Guatemala, it could have an impact on us energetically, the way the world's one system, and it's all operating together, and we're bugs on the earth. You know, the earth's the spaceship that's taking us through the universe. And that's the powerful thing. And we think we're super powerful, and it's like this unity consciousness of being more in harmony with the earth, more connected to spirit and greater expansiveness of consciousness.
Yeah.
And with that coming in and with that influx into the world, things are changing beautifully, and they will change beautifully. You know, in the 90s, if you would have said all the pubs that are going to be shut, that your dads went in and your dad's mates went in, you wouldn't have thought it.
No,
because we've moved into this feminine energy. And this feminine energy is taking over that dark, dank, masculine energy of boozing, drinking, domestic violence is
slowly
ebbing away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is slowly going.
Yeah. And it's not accepted anymore. It's not like it's an acceptable thing where it was an acceptable thing in the 80s. It wasn't illegal to rape your wife until like 94. And like, you know, we're still behind some countries, we're still ahead of other countries, you know, but it's just this essence of beauty that we've got to step into. So McDonald's might not exist within my lifetime, and I've got a good feeling that all the political system that we live in at the moment will not exist within my lifetime.
Mediocrity v excellence. We touched on it before about losing friends and people around us when we kind of evolve and grow within ourselves. But I just wanted to talk about your personal experience with that.
With mediocrity?
Yes.
It's about just it's not shining your light fully, or holding back, and not giving everything, being scared of other people's opinions and what other people are going to think about you doing a certain thing. And it's like, well, if it resonates with your heart, just crack on with it. Like, if you're going to get nowhere thinking about what this person's going to think when you do this, that, or the other. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
exactly.
You've just got to crack on. And I think it's beautiful that you use the word mediocrity in the last bit of our chat, because I used it in the last interview that I did with Patrick, and it's a really powerful quote by Oscar Wilde.
Oh, remember this.
And do you
remember it? Can you say it again?
Yeah. Ridicule is the tribute paid by the mediocrities to the genius.
I love that. I'd not heard of that. Oscar, I was a bit gutted with myself that I'd not heard that Oscar Wilde quote.
Super
but how
powerful
true.
Quote.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, if you're getting ripped, if you're getting hate mail, if loads of people aren't agreeing with what you're doing, you know, not understanding it, and you feel like you're spreading your light, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, if there's people that I admire and look up to, and I think they're wonderful, and they say, Liam, this, that, or the other, I will take heed of what they're saying, I'll take it in. But some person who's on no path and is not inspirational and I don't admire, why the fucking hell would I be asked what the fuck they say about me?
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't really give the fuck, even if they give me a recipe. Be like, Why would I have a recipe off you? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I am getting much better with this, but I still need to work on it, for me, to be honest.
write the quote down, keep saying the quote every day.
Yeah, will do.
You know, look at Gaudi in Barcelona, man. He was ridiculed.
All the
Imagine Barcelona without the Gaudi's buildings. It wouldn't be the number one tourist city in the world. He was ridiculed. He was totally divided the city in what people liked and disliked of his work. And he was doing LSD. He was a gay man. Like, he was cracking on with his shit and
just owning
changed the whole city.
Yeah.
Owning what he did.
People a bit get jealous, I think, as well. And that's their shit, like we've covered before.
Yeah. Just own it. Own what you're doing. The most important thing, just own what you're doing.
Yeah.
If you're driving a shit car, own it. You'll look amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't give a crap
Whatever you're doing,
cars.
just own everything you do.
Yeah, I've noticed since I've grown, like my limited beliefs stretched them. People that I know or been around, I can see theirs, or I can meet people and see. It's like they're coming out at me 3D to me. You know, seeing their own blocks. You become much more aware, don't you?
Yeah. But make sure that you're inspired and you take inspiration and you take teachings from people that are wonderful. You know, like, is there any politician in the world or any world leader that you go, oh, I really want my child to be like him, be inspired by him? Not one exists. There's only one leader, probably the Dalai Lama, that you would potentially, like,
Dalai Lama.
You know, some leaders of different faith groups that you would want to get some empowerment from. There's no political people. That's all just dark, dirty stuff. So just move beyond it. We've got to move beyond our imagined limitations.
The most I'm inspired of is the prisoners I work with. Seriously. In fact, Patrick read Butterfly Thinking out of my book, The Great Escape, on the last one. And that was about a woman who I met in a female prison. And she said, look, I just used my mind to get through this sentence. It was so powerful. What everyone sees, I don't see a prison wall. I see my life as what I want it to be. I'm in a physical jail, but I'm not in my head.
Exactly.
And
if we can use that perspective, whatever situation presents us in life, we can be in this space of stillness and calmness, and then just, you know, crack on. If we end up in a concentration camp, we can be the person who was okay with it and was present, rather than why have your final days scurrying about and being nervous. If your plane's about to hit the ground, why be going crazy?
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen anyway.
Wise words, Browne.
So Jenny Berry.
So Liam Browne.
That was amazing.
JB and LB. It was
JB
amazing.
and LB, yeah.
I've loved it. Thank you. You've hired my vibrations, man.
Good.
Ow! I'm going to come to one of your cacaos as soon as it's allowed.
Good. It's online as well.
I know.
You're online.
I know, and that's
I
great.
know you want it in person.
I want it in person.
And hands on.
I want hands on, baby. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and keep up the good work. You're doing amazing stuff.
Thank you.
And
You too.
Keep just
Owning my shizzle.
Owning your shizzle, baby.
Yeah.
Because you got it, and you're just going to grow and grow and grow and be magnificent. But it's been absolutely amazing talking to you once again. And
Yes.
getting to share space with you.
You too.
You're
And
wonderful
thank you
human.
for your book. I'm going to send you mine out.
Yeah, and thank you, Patrick, for having us on the show, letting us take over for the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Patrick, I think this is going to be a TV show.
Boom.
I want it to be.
100%.
Yeah, and I can say, I knew him before he got famous.
Brilliant. Thanks, everyone, for watching.
We hope you have a great week.
And we will see you very soon. Shalom.
Shalom.